Number 10. Do not use a hairdryer while sleeping. Yes, this warning exists, and it's no joke. The warning appears on several models from Conair, one of the largest dryer brands in the world. And it's there because someone, at some point, decided it would be a good idea to sleep with a jet of hot air glued to their head. The story began with a lawsuit in the 1990s, when a woman sued the company claiming that her dryer caught fire on its own while she was sleeping. The detail is that the device was turned on top of the bed and wrapped in the sheet. The dryer didn't fail. It just did what any hot engine would do when smothered by fabric. It turned into a portable oven. After a few similar accidents, the company decided not to discuss the logic. Simply added the warning, "Don't use the dryer while you sleep." And that's how a lazy night became design jurisprudence. Because apparently for some people the danger isn't in sleeping with wet hair, is to sleep with the dryer on. Number 9. Do not place people in the washing machine. And yes, someone really needed to hear that. This warning appears on modern models of the Whirlpool and the Samsung after a series of documented incidents in several countries. In 2005, a mother sued the manufacturer because her 4-year-old son climbed onto the machine, fell into the drum, and the cycle was activated. The boy survived, but the incident was enough to set off alarm bells in the industry. But the problem was not exclusive to children. In the following years, videos emerged, yes, real videos, of adults trying to get into the washing machine for fun. A man in Australia had to be rescued by firefighters after hiding inside a machine during a game of hide and seek. It took them 20 minutes to get it out, and the machine didn't survive. After that, the tags started appearing in droves. Warning, do not put any person into this appliance. And the most bizarre? The manufacturers didn't put the warning out of caution, but because of statistics. Because apparently, a worrying number of people look at a spinning washing machine and think, would make a great toy. Number 8. Do not dry animals in the microwave. And no, this is not an urban legend. In the 1970s, an American lady put her pet cat in the microwave to dry it after a bath. A few minutes later, the impossible happened. The cat died instantly, and the microwave exploded. The woman sued the manufacturer, claiming the manual did not explicitly say that animals could not be dried there. The case became a legal nightmare, and to avoid further lawsuits, companies began including the following warning: do not use to dry pets. The thing is, the case gained so much attention that it inspired other similar stories. In the following years, records from veterinary clinics showed that people actually tried to warm small animals, hamsters, birds, and even turtles. The result? A series of destroyed microwaves, and human reputations along with it. Since then, the warning has been there, printed in practically every manual on the planet. Not out of irony, but out of necessity. Because apparently between shampoo and blow dryer, someone thought the microwave was a viable alternative. Number 7. Do not vacuum hot ashes. And yes, someone actually thought this would be a good idea. The warning appears on virtually every vacuum cleaner on the planet. And it exists because, in 1999, a man in Ohio used the vacuum to clean his fireplace faster. The embers were still burning, and the result was worthy of an episode of domestic misadventures. Hot ash entered the dust collector, the fabric filter caught fire, the motor overheated, and within seconds the entire house was in flames. The fire department report said the man tried to blow the flames back into the vacuum cleaner. Spoiler, it didn't work. After this and several similar incidents, manufacturers began to post the warning in large letters: do not vacuum hot ashes. And the most curious thing? Even with the warning, similar cases continue to occur. In 2013, a viral video showed a man trying to vacuum a lit barbecue grill. The vacuum melted live on air, and the comment said, at least he read the manual. Today, the warning is there to protect the consumer, but mainly the company's insurance. Because for every brain that says, I think it's possible, there's a manual screaming, no, it's not possible. Number 6. Do not use the phone during electrical storms, and if you thought this was just paranoia, get ready for the story that made this warning exist. In the 1980s, lightning struck a telephone line in Oklahoma while a woman was talking to her sister. The discharge traveled down the wire, past the device, and literally came out of her ear. She survived, but with burns and what doctors described as the most electric hairstyle in history. And she wasn't the only one. Over the decades, hundreds of similar cases have been recorded, people being electrocuted while answering a landline, fax, or modem plugged into a wall outlet during thunderstorms. Most survived, but the machines, not so much. After a lawsuit in 1989, manufacturers began to include the warning in all manuals. Do not use the phone during electrical storms. And even today, in the age of Wi-Fi, the warning still appears, because there is always someone who looks at thunder and thinks, I think there's time to call grandma. Moral of the story, if the sky is screaming, maybe it's best not to answer. Number 5. Do not use the hairdryer in the bathtub. Yes, it looks like a warning written for anyone who lost a bet with Darwin. This warning appears on virtually all modern dryers, and it's there for a very electrical reason. In the 1970s and 80s, hundreds of people were electrocuted while using hairdryers, radios, and shavers while in the bathtub. Many cases started with the same phrase, I'll just call quickly. The result was a 120-volt discharge straight into the water. End of story. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission recorded so many incidents that in 1987 it created a federal rule requiring a warning on all portable electrical appliances. And it didn't stop there. The dryer's internal circuit needed to be redesigned to include the famous GFCI plug, that button that turns off the device when it detects an electric shock. The warning that seems obvious today only exists because, for decades, many people confused home spa with improvised electric shower. And the industry learned the hard way that when water and electricity meet, the result isn't cleanliness, it's a permanent power outage. Number 4. Do not use the vacuum cleaner to clean the body. And yes, there are people who have looked at a suction motor and thought, that looks safe. The warning began to appear after a series of accidents in the 2000s, when people used the vacuum cleaner to clean parts of their bodies, and in some cases for purposes that don't fit in instruction manuals. Hoover and Dyson have received reports of people trying to dry hair, vacuum wounds, and even vacuum hair removal. Spoiler: nothing ended well. One of the best-known cases occurred in South Korea in 2007. A man was hospitalized after using a vacuum cleaner for, let's say, recreational purposes. The hospital officially registered the case, and the local newspaper ran the headline, Man Injured in Incident Involving Appliance and Loneliness. After that, manufacturers began to include the classic line, do not use the vacuum cleaner on any part of the body. The most ironic thing is that the warning was never intended to make fun of anyone. It is a direct result of human nature testing the limits of curiosity and voltage. Because if there is suction, there will always be someone willing to see how far it goes. Number 3. Do not use the microwave to dry clothes. Yes, that label is real. And it only exists because someone looked at a microwave oven and saw a dryer with superpowers. The best-known case happened in Florida in 2005. A man tried to speed up the drying process of his wet underwear before leaving for work. He put the piece in the microwave, set it for 2 minutes, and went to brush his teeth. When he returned, the kitchen looked like hell on a domestic scale. The fabric caught fire, the microwave melted, and the fire alarm screamed, "Good morning." The company received so many similar complaints that it decided to put the warning in the manuals and on the inside of the door. Do not dry clothes or fabrics inside this appliance. And the most unbelievable thing is that the incident was repeated in several countries: Japan, the United Kingdom, Canada. There was even an Australian lady who tried to revive a pair of damp socks. The result? 2 fewer socks and a new kitchen remodel. Today, every time someone opens their microwave and sees this warning, they are reading a condensed history of human stupidity. A reminder that the microwave is for food, not for quick laundry. Number 2. Do not try to stop the blade with your hands. Yes, there are people who looked at a propeller spinning at 1,000 revolutions per minute and thought, this looks easy to hold. The warning has been mandatory on electric blade equipment since a series of bizarre accidents occurred in the 1990s, mainly with kitchen mixers and lawnmowers. One of the most absurd cases was that of a man in Texas who tried to help his lawnmower stop faster. He put his hand under the engine, which was still running, and lost 3 fingers. He sued the company, claiming that no one warned him that the blades continued to spin after he released the button, and he won part of the case. Since then, manufacturers have printed the warning, "Do not stop blades with hands or body parts." And the most unbelievable thing is that the same type of accident still happens today, now with mixers, processors, and industrial fans. In 2018, a woman tried to clean the mixer while it was still plugged in. Result: 3 stitches in the hand and a new respect for gravity. The warning may seem obvious, but it is living proof that between instinct and logic, human curiosity always chooses the path with the most scars. Number 1. Do not drink cleaning products. It seems obvious, right? But if this warning still exists, it's because humanity insists on testing the limits of natural selection. This warning is on virtually every cleaning product on the planet, from bleach to disinfectants. And it became mandatory after a series of real cases in the United States, starting in the 1970s and exploding again in 2020, when dozens of people were hospitalized after ingesting bleach, believing that it purified the body. The episode generated an avalanche of calls to the Poison Control Center. Some believed that drinking disinfectant was a way to cleanse the body of viruses and bacteria. The results were exactly the opposite: internal burns, kidney failure, and in some cases, death. Today, labels carry increasingly direct messages such as "do not ingest," "harmful or fatal if swallowed." And companies didn't put this in as a precaution, but from experience. Because apparently, for every person who reads "kills 99.9% of bacteria," is there anyone who thinks, then it must work inside too?